Here is our next project. This one too is a Japanese black pine. I'm sure you're noticing this over here, this browning, and you may be concerned. Well, I'm not so concerned because it's on the interior, closer to the trunk than it is to the outer edge. If it's browning on the tips where the new growth are, that will be an indication of a major problem. But as long as they're on the interior like that, it's no big deal. It's kind of the natural process. And when we get around to working on it, all we have to do is flick it off. So let's get started on this project today. Okay, so this is no big concern. All you have to do is just take them off. Well, actually, they will fall off. Okay, so now let's get down to start shaping these. Now, down here are the sacrifice branches. I'm going to keep this one, but I think I'll take these off because we have plenty. This branch here. Oh, okay, I see. There's two. There's a lower one and this one here, and they're kind of jumbled together. So, and then this one is, I'm pretty sure this is a sacrifice branch, low. We want to keep it out of the main area, because if we get jammed together, it'll distort our keepers. And then we probably don't need this. Actually, I might be tempted to actually cut this off, but I'll go ahead and see what else we have going. I'm pretty sure you have the front. These are coming forward. There's two of them. I might keep one just in case, although most of the time we take off what's coming forward, sometimes referred to as eye pokers. So these going up, gets cut, leave the ones horizontal. And then we're trying to address the apex. That's a good one, good one. And then we go up here, it gets a little bit jumbled. I think it's this back branch that's getting a little too heavy. And then this. Okay, we don't want this to get bigger because it's a side branch. And to continue, we have to remove the center candle so that it doesn't continue to elongate. But I think this is, well, this one is on the forward side. Get that out. This is getting too tall. Get that out. And then there's a big cluster that we wanted to get rid of. And then I think this is back to the front again. Okay, starting to look better. There's some extra branches in here still, but we don't need to get rid of everything yet because it's not at that final stage. And some of it will help to fatten. So you have to use this growth to work your main line. So let's take a look at the merit of this tree. It's got a good root flare, it's got movement, and we got taper. It's a rather smooth line. Sometimes we'll take and make very bold lines by making the turns more dramatic. But I think this is going to look good. So the big question right now is, now there's two sacrifice branches, one on the right and one on the left. The one on the left is quite large. I wonder if we should just go ahead and take that out. So these are choices that you have to make constantly. Okay, now we know for sure that it's coming out. So now it's just a matter of when. And because we have this one on our right, I think it's go ahead and take the one on the left, the bigger one out. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, it looks like this is about where it wants to be. So your finished product, maybe another year or two, maybe even 3, this one on the right would come off. So you can see that it's got a really good line. Not real dramatic, but I think this one has a good line. All the taper and the movement are very nicely done. Okay, you notice that I put some strings. I'm just pulling down some key branches. The one on the lower left, by pulling it down like that, in the future, I could just shape it by pruning. The one on the right, kind of midway up, that one could be pulled down a little bit more, but I didn't want to push it to the point where it would break. Anyway, if you do these things ahead of time, instead of waiting till it's almost finished and then trying to wire. Now, I tend not to use wire, but wiring is a good technique to know. But if you start early in the material state, like this, then you could avoid a lot of the harsh wiring that you have to do. So you could see that I wanted to change the angle here. It was more horizontal. Actually, there used to be a string there, and I guess it was going up, and then I had it almost horizontal. Now I'm dipping down, and that's what we want to do with our first branch. It should be dipping down. And then up there, like I said, it could use a little bit more pull, but you also don't want to break branches doing that either. So anyway, this one is done, and I'll move to the next tree. Okay, this is another one that we're going to work on. This is the back side. I got the feeling this side was shady. It's almost flat. So one of the things we're going to do is start our corrections. But this one is not going to require too much work. Okay, this got really tall. Normally, we cut it like this, right? But see how long this is? And there's still fairly good green, so I could cut it down to here, or even here, and still get away with it. Now, same thing with this. So essentially, that's all I am going to do. And then we have our apex up here, and then these long ones. Well, let me hold off on that. Well, only reason is I got to figure out how to get this side to have some. See, look at this one is pointed inward. We need to bring it back just so that this side doesn't look so flat. So it looks like my string work is coming up. Okay, so you can see. Okay, I got it so that I pull the branches down, and then looking at the side view, it's not perfect, but at least I got some started. So left flat, and then I think I should be able to move these again further next year. So also what I could do next year is to put this side in the sunny side. That will help to encourage. But what I noticed on this one particularly, it's a little bit on the weak side. One, because it didn't hurt me a lot. I said before that a nice healthy tree will have needles that will poke you and actually could draw blood. This one here is not painful. That means it's really not in really good health. So as I'm looking at the base and the soil, I'm thinking next year I'm going to repot this either in a bigger container or rework the soil. But all in all, this is another nice shape. The root flare was good, and then as it goes up, we have movement and taper.